Hey, what's up, Facebook? Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this replay. Hey, everyone on Instagram, too. I'm going live on both. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking this out, watching this replay. Today, I want to talk about Thanksgiving, and not just the typical Thanksgiving, like give thanks for all that you appreciate and being grateful and all that stuff. I want to talk about the world that we live in now is this microwave society, this microwave generation, where we can just speak out loud and have information sent to us. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking a lot this week. And we can go on the internet and we can go on an app on our smartphone and we can order food and it can be delivered to us within minutes. And we can order products on right from our device. We can even speak it out loud to these artificial intelligence assistants saying that I need more toilet paper. And depending on where you live, it's there that day or in a couple of days. I mean, we live in such an amazing world and society, and technology is so advanced that we're able to get the things that we want within a few moments. And what that has done is it has warped our views, warped our experiences and our expectations of life and how life takes time. Organic matter, trees, living things, the world around us, even intangible things like relationships, spiritual journeys, fitness journeys, parenting, raising children. Even if you don't have children yet, but you have a pet, taking care of your animal. Okay, they don't learn the first time you tell them. When you're trying to potty train a dog or a cat or a child, they don't learn the first time. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes the willingness to not give up. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, is not giving up. I want to talk about putting in the time, putting in the work, putting in the effort, and how we get rewarded with that, right? So if you think about Thanksgiving, especially in the United States and in the Americas, we are very much still rooted in the foundation of farming. That was a big thing just a few decades ago, half a century ago, and before that it was everything. There was so many people that grew their own crops and had their own livestock, and I guess it really wasn't until maybe like the Industrial Revolution that more people started working in factories and jobs and whatnot. But all before then, before time, since we were nomadic people, we farmed, we cultivated. When we were nomadic, we herded animals and whatnot. So when you think about life, when you think about these parts of our lives, you have to plant the seed. It has to start somewhere. The idea has to be planted in your mind. You have to set the goal of what you want it to be. So, with a fruit tree, you plant the seed, you nurture that fruit tree. The fruit tree has to grow. It's going to take a while before it actually can bear fruit that you can eat, that you can sustain. So if you've ever grown a tree, if you've ever grown any type of plants or crops that you can actually eat from, it's quite amazing. Some of them grow faster than others. Some of them are seasonal, obviously, and others take years to grow before they bear the fruit or the food that we can consume, that we can eat. Same with when you're growing animals and able to eat the animals and their eggs and drink their milk. It takes a certain amount of time and cultivation and nurturing so that the plant or that animal doesn't die. It's the same thing in business. It's the same thing in relationships. It has to start somewhere. It starts with an idea. It sparks with an idea, thought in your mind. And then it has to turn into you physically doing the work to nurture that relationship, to nurture that business idea, to nurture and grow yourself on that journey. Diet and exercise, you can't just do it one day and you have the body that you want, or you have the health that you want. It takes time, it takes dedication, and you have to show up and do it every single day. That compound effect of showing up and doing it every day, growing your plants, taking care of your relationships, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, nurturing that. That's where we get this harvest from. So you plant in the spring, it grows, you get, rains, the crops, everything. They grow through the summer. And then in the fall, in the harvest time, you go and you gather and you reap the harvest. And Thanksgiving is that time to celebrate the harvest, this bountiful amount of food, this plenty season. Life is seasonal. I'm not a big person in the whole idea of like balance, of having like, you do this for 4 hours and you do this for 4 hours, and you do this for 4 hours, and that's what your schedule is every single day. I'm not a big person on that. I am a big person on seasons. There are seasons in your life. You are constantly changing as a person. You are constantly growing. So some seasons require more of you than others. Some seasons require more attention for your children or for your business than others. And I live and I believe in that seasonal mentality. And it's the same thing with the crops, right? There's spring, summer, the harvest in the fall, and then wintertime when you rest and you eat the food that you have saved up and nurtured the whole year. That'll take you through the wintertime, right? So it's the same thing in business, guys. The work that you're doing now, the work that you've been doing for a few months, is going to pay off next year and the year after that and the year after that. I think about the clients that we have and we have had, and the people that we've worked with, and the mentors and the business relationships that we've made. Every year that goes by, every month that goes by, those relationships can either dwindle or they can be built upon themselves. And from those relationships is where opportunity comes from. We've partnered with people and businesses. We have had clients. We've had mentors. And all of those have become from business relationships that we've nurtured. And so we can see a direct correlation from the work that we were doing at the beginning of the year and showing up every day and doing it. I mean, look, we're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. There were days, weeks even, where I wasn't showing up and I wasn't holding myself to a level of self-integrity when no one's watching, and doing the things that I said I was going to do, working towards those goals that I set for myself. There's nobody to answer to when you work by yourself. There's no boss. It's just yourself. So when no one else is looking, when you have no one else to answer to but yourself, do you have that level of self-integrity to step up and do the work needed to keep pushing on, to keep moving forward? The most successful people in life are the ones who don't quit, right? You hear stories from the people that you look up to in the different industries that you're in, or the different fitness people or whatever you're into. You always hear their story and you find out they most likely had went through some hardships, or there was some kind of adversity or difficulty that prevented them from getting to where they were. But the reason why they've gotten to the place that they're at is because they persevered. They didn't give up after the first time. It's just like toddlers, right? If little kids tried walking and they fell over once and they're like, oh, that's it. I'm just going to walk the rest of or I'm going to crawl the rest of my life. I can't walk. The first time I tried it, I just fell over. So forget it. Maybe they tried 2 or 3 times and they're like, you know what? This walking thing isn't for me. I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life. What would happen then? What would your life be like then if you gave up when you were a toddler? But children are a great example for us because they're so resilient, right? And they keep trying and they keep trying until they start walking. And it's like they believe in themselves. And then as parents, we're trying to help them. You can do it. Come on, you can do it. We're an example to them. We're walking. So they want to have that example for us, right? From us. They see that and they want to become that as well. We encourage them to do that. So I want to encourage you to keep going, whatever it is that you're working towards, whether it's some business goals or whether it's a personal goal, if it's a spiritual journey or a fitness journey that you're on, keep on going, okay? The results don't happen overnight. It might seem like it when you look at other people and they're posting their before and afters, or they're talking about their wins or how much money they've made or what goal they've hit. I guarantee you that every single one of those people that are showing their wins, that are showing their goals that they've reached, that are showing their fitness journeys, they've all put in the time, they've all put in the work, they've all put in that effort, and they've nurtured themselves, the goal. Yes, you can have an off day, you can have an off week, but the days on are more than the days off. brush yourself off, you get up. Like I said, there's seasons, right? So there's times when you don't feel like getting up and doing it, but those who have that high level of self-integrity are the ones that do it anyway, no matter what they're feeling, because your feelings can keep you in the place that you're at. But if you're a person that wants to better themselves and wants to move forward and wants to have a better life than the one you have now, you have to push through. You have to get out of that comfort zone. If you don't feel like working out, or you don't feel like getting on the computer and doing the work that you need to do for your business, that's when you're going to give up, and that's when you're going to quit. And the ones that are successful are the ones that push through it and do it anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be beautiful while you're doing it, right? You can always go back and make things look better. Once you hit some of your goals, you can refine those things and fine tune it to make yourself feel better, to look better. So I just want to encourage you guys during this time, this harvest time, this Thanksgiving time, the time where traditionally we've used it to gather the harvest, bring our friends and family around us, and celebrate all the work that we've done this past year. I want you to take some time to really celebrate yourself. Look back at the beginning of this year where you were. If you journal, it's a good time to maybe pull up your journal and go back to, flip through some pages from the past, 9, 10 months, 11 months, and just see how far you've become, and give yourself a pat on the back. Celebrate with yourself. If you have a business partner, a spouse, whatever it is that you're working on, if you have other people involved with that, celebrate with them. Take this time, this Thanksgiving time, to really reflect on that. If you have to go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to see that big transformation, it's most likely they don't happen overnight, right? People don't win the lottery the first time that they play either. Those people that win the lottery where they go from zero to nothing, or like it's from $0 to $1 million, they play all the time. They're gamblers. They're like addicted to their scratch off tickets or slot machines or what have you. I'm not condoning gambling or addictions, but what I'm saying is that there's a pattern, that they put in the work, that they put in the time, the energy, the money into that to get the win, right? We know with gambling and the lottery, it's a risk, just like with business, just like with anything. But I would rather put forth an effort into my own endeavors, my own businesses, than rely on a game of chance, right? Or a numbers game. So anyway, I want to wrap this up. Thank you for those of you who've been watching. I'm here to encourage you to keep on going, keep pushing. You've got this. Keep going at it. If you've fallen off the horse or the wagon or whatever you want to call it, that's okay. Brush yourself off. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Do it for 5-10 minutes, maybe a day if you have to, but then get back up and push forward, because you're the type of person that's a winner. You are the type of person that doesn't quit. So I'm here to encourage you. Let me know if that helped you out today, guys. I'll talk to you next week. See you later.